the God rhythm is the truth. And for one to achieve a life within the God rhythm, well, he simply has to.
La gente muore ogni giorno. Beh, è così che devono andare le cose. Benvenuti, questo è il piano del Supremo.
To me, the biggest difference will be musically, because my bandmates, I didn't have anything to do with music on this album except, you know, my opinions.
Everybody comes with different ideas. Everyone likes such different music, and somebody pops in with an idea. If people are feeling it, we keep working on it, and you know, if it sucks, someone is definitely going to tell you.
All the pieces were there. We felt real familiar with each other, you know? We're not scared to say to the other guy, yo, that sounds like shit, or that's corny. Just when it's time to throw away a song, we throw it away. Nobody gets bent out of shape too much.
They wrote better songs, and we took our time and really took each other's opinions to heart. So if someone tells you this isn't good enough, or this isn't cutting it, you just swallow your pride, get rid of it, and do something better.
It feels like it's getting better, more natural. This record was really easy to write, but it just took us a long time.
And I think that's how we get a sound that's slightly different from most other bands in our genre, is because we have so many different ideas coming together, and we're not afraid to try new things.
They played better than they ever played before, and it was almost like a personal challenge to them to outdo the last record and outdo all our other records.
We started the record with our old drummer Shannon. We wrote a lot of songs, and then eventually Shannon stepped out of the band. We picked up Luke, our new drummer.
I am the newest member of Wisdom in Chains, and definitely the youngest member of Wisdom in Chains. And the experience so far has been amazing.
Luke added a lot of, you know, like a whole new vibe to the band.
When I was younger, I listened to a lot of Sick of It All, definitely Madball, mostly New York hardcore bands, some West Coast punk, and I definitely have different styles. I don't even know where I got my style playing. I don't even know if I do it right, but I definitely have a lot of aggression.
I love playing with Luke. He hits like a freaking train. Like, you hear every hit. He's real easy to follow because the bass and the drums are supposed to lock together, kind of hold things down.
Yeah, he's a good bass player.
Yeah, and
I like playing with him too.
It's easy to play with him, I think.
We don't play with each other, but you know.
We play our instruments together.
There was a lot of guitar work, different kinds of guitar work on this album. I think my favorite lead is going to be on Songs to My Killer.
And it's got like it has like a rock and roll feel, but it's technical at the same time. It feels real natural. I will put Chris against any other guitarist in the scene currently in the category of ripping. Dude rips. Great guitar players.
Well, I tend to think that I don't know what the fuck I'm doing most of the time. And I kind of just throw my shit together and then it blows up in my face. You know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, Richie.
I met him at community college. I was sitting, I got dropped off, I'm sitting in a dorm room thinking everybody here is a nerd except me, and then Chris comes rolling in a half stack, and he's just my roommate by chance. And that's
Luck of the draw, man.
Yeah.
This is luck of the draw.
So from there we started playing together.
From then, yeah.
From 95 till now, been playing back to back.
You know, I think where all the elements kind of came together, between like hardcore elements, rock and roll elements, punk elements, just Violent Americans.
I think my three favorite are going to be People Die, When We Were Young, and Violent Americans.
Just straight up hardcore song. Then the chorus maintains the speed, but has these open notes under open chords under me doing that notey part. Joe comes in, has that's probably one of his best lyrical outputs he had. It's really cool to listen to. And then all of a sudden, the whole vibe of the song changes musically and lyrically at the same time. Some people might not dig that, but at first I didn't know what to think of it, but to me, it's one of the standout tracks, Violent Americans.
We let it loose. My father is African, my mother is Bulgarian.
favorite line on the record, probably the second verse in the Best of Me.
It pours from the pores and pools on floors on the stage in the mic at night on tour. I spit it in the face of all my friends. I spit it in a sea of angry men. So full of love, so full of hope. For years I thought I lost them both. My heart is so full. You saved me from myself.
The hardest thing about even playing shows, because we don't tour like we used to, but the hardest thing about being away from home overnight is just not being able to see my son at night and put him to bed, say I love you, and just that physical contact with my son really means a lot.
I think Joe did a real good job with lyrics. It's hard for me to pick out one song, but I like a song called Skinhead Gang because it's a true story and it's real clever how he wrote the lyrics.
The best thing about these guys is the music always has it's almost like theme music. Like it feels like soundtrack music to a movie that's with no plot yet. So you kind of make the plot, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't want a song on a record that we didn't like.
Yeah, I like every song on this record, every single one. And I personally like a lot of melody in my music. That's what I usually listen to on my own. So I like this album because it's got heavy stuff, it's got melody, it's got stick in your head, catchy choruses and guitar licks that you find yourself humming through the day. So yeah.
With the album artwork, we had our friend, who's a great artist, tattoo artist, Chris Jones at Gorilla Custom Studios in Scranton, PA. He did the cover art. We advised him a little bit on what we wanted and why we wanted it, and he nailed it. You know, we used the owl again, like we did on our last 7-inch, We Never Sleep. Because our name is Wisdom and Chains, and owl represents wisdom. So we wanted to go with that route. Everything on the cover it means something. There's hidden meanings. There's obvious, things that you'll pick out. But a lot of people have been asking us and mentioning like, oh, what's this, what's that? You know, even accusing us of weird things. But there's a pitchfork on the album cover with 3 prongs, a trident. That's like birth, death, life, mind, body, spirit. You know, it's the 3. Past, present, future. Everything on there means something. So we wanted to have the album art as interesting as the songs, you know what I mean? A lot of aspects. So all the songs are relayed visually in the cover, if you can figure it out. Even the pyramid itself is kind of a representation. It's behind the owl, and the pyramid was on the Missing Links album. So it's kind of like we're going to the next one, you know what I mean? But it's interesting. Some people really like it, some people have a problem with it, but we've always liked that kind of art, and Chris Jones hooked it up for us. Out of all the bands I've been in, yeah, Wisdom and Chains is by far my favorite, because in some of my previous bands, there was a boundary, and we were only allowed ourselves to sound a certain way, put out a certain kind of product. With Wisdom and Chains, we could do whatever we want, and we did it from the first album till now, so there's not like a shocking thing if we come out with a song that's completely punk rock, completely metal, completely, oi. It's what we do. You know, there's 5 different guys with a lot of different influence. Anybody can step up and write a song, and if it's good, we're gonna use it,
I personally take a lot of pride in this record. I think everybody put everything they had into this record, and I think it's gonna show when people finally listen to it. There's no fakeness going on in this album. Everything's for real, every lyric's for real, and I'm personally proud to be a part of it.